Welcome back to AM Northwest. You know, many families rely on school lunches to provide nutritious meals for kids, but that can stop or become harder to find during the summer. That's why our parent company, Sinclair Broadcast Group, is partnering with Feeding America and the Oregon Food Bank to provide summer hunger relief in our area. Here to share how you can help, we welcome from Oregon Food Bank, Janet Orozco Ortiz. Good to have you with us. Tell us about the need right now. What are you seeing?
Yes, thanks so much, Helen, for having me.
Sure.
So the need right now is definitely increasing over the last year. At Oregon Food Bank, pantries and food banks all over the state, we saw 1.9 million visits, and so it is increasing definitely over the school. Once school is over, right, like during the summertime, we see an increase, but just overall year round, it's been increasing significantly. So hunger is a real...
It's a real issue.
It is.
Yeah, food insecurity, we hear that term often. What does that mean exactly?
So food insecurity, that means that you do not have access to healthy, nutritious, or even in general food.
Yeah.
So it's really tough for children, for students, you know, people of all ages to access food.
Tell me about what the Oregon Food Bank does.
So Oregon Food Bank, our mission is to eliminate hunger and the root causes. And so we like to advocate and also organize and center the work that we do around social and racial justice. And so we, you know, serve resources to our community members all over the state.
So do you go to people or they come to you?
So we do
find out who's
both.
in need.
Yeah, so we find out who's in need. So it really depends, but we do both.
Is there a particular time of year where the need is much greater?
Definitely during the summer.
During the summer.
That is because children are out of school, right? So that means there's no school lunches, meaning we don't know if children are going to be fed at home.
We have no idea.
We have no idea, and so a way to access food is to, you know, go to local food pantries or food banks, but sometimes that just isn't enough for some people.
Tell me about how someone can access that, because I understand you can find out where a food bank is in your area if you need help.
Right, yeah, so you can go to OregonFoodBank.org and you can find a local food pantry, food bank, or even hot meal sites which are available, and they are open to anyone, everyone in our community. So I really encourage folks to access that resource because it's there, and we encourage everyone to utilize it.
Sure. Campaign, tell me about Food for All Oregonians.
Yes, so Food for All Oregonians, really excited to talk about that. So the campaign is led by Oregon Food Bank, which is a coalition that envisions food access to all in our community regardless of our immigration status.
And you know about the struggle to find food. You've been through this with your family. Tell me about that, because this is really at the heart of it for you, right?
Yeah, so it's really challenging growing up in a household where you didn't know where your next meal was going to come from, or if we were even going to have a meal right on the table. And so it's really important to be advocating for this work, for this campaign, and just going through that. You know, I don't want there to be any other children who face the same challenges that I did, you know, because it affects us mentally, also emotionally, physically, and it affects our well-being. So we're not able to fully thrive if we don't have access to culturally and nutritious, you know, appropriate food. So it's really hard as a child, you know, because you go to school, but no one really knows what's happening at home.
Yeah.
Until.
And were you struggling also, in addition, because of immigration status for your parents?
Yeah, so it was really challenging for my parents individually due to their immigration status, and so they weren't able to access SNAP or food stamps because of the immigration status. So we had to rely on food banks, food pantries, but sometimes that wasn't enough because back when I was in school, there wasn't really anything that was culturally appropriate to us, and so my family's from Mexico, and so really, again, there was these foods were like foreign to us. We're like, what is this, you know? And so I just remember like going to the food pantries and having to like translate, you know, the food labels to my parents because they're like, I don't know what this is. What can we cook with this? So it's really challenging, you know, coming to a different country and not being able to find culturally appropriate food items.
Well, I know our viewers out there want to help. So to make a donation to the Oregon Food Bank, just scan the QR code on your screen or visit KATU.com/cares. Just $1 can provide 10 meals for families in need. Janet, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Helen.
And I'm glad you're doing better.
Thank you.
It's awesome. All right, we'll be right back with more AM Northwest.